Hi everyone, Vicky Verley here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. Today we're going to take a look at the transit of Jupiter as it leaves the sign of Cancer and moves into the sign of Leo. This is going to be an all signs video, and we're going to go through sign by sign and not only look at some astrology, but we're also going to pull cards for each sign. If you're new here, I'm Vicky Verley, and you can find me at vickyverley.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. The special that I'm running, which is coming to a close, is the solstice reading, and it's packed full of all sorts of things to look at this year. It's a new season. It's for the upcoming season. We'll talk about Chiron and Taurus. We'll talk about all the transits to Aries. So I know many people order every year. If you want to get in on that, you can head over to my website. But first of all, let's go through and talk about the planet Jupiter a little bit. So Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and it's known as the Great Benefic. And what it really does, it makes things bigger. It grows things. It makes them bigger. It's considered to be lucky, and it definitely can be very lucky. Abundance, luck, these types of things. But the thing with Jupiter too, sometimes it can lead to excess. So more is not always better. So there's always a little bit of that involved with the whole Jupiter thing. Everything has a positive and negative. Even the Great Benefic has some negative interpretations. So before we get into the reading, I want to tell you everybody the years before, because most people have been around for a few of these transits, and it's always good to look back at and see, what happened during these times. And with the Jupiter transit too, sometimes it's like that with anything in astrology, really, or anything in life. Sometimes when we're going through it, we don't see that it was a lucky break or it was good. Maybe at the time we were fighting it or whatever the reason was. But when you look back at these other transits, you can say, what was the gift? Even if you didn't realize it at the time. That's the key thing. Okay, so it's been in a cycle of mostly changing mid-year, like it is now. It's changing, and it's actually, the date will be June 30th is the date it's changing. So as we're just moving into July, it's going to change from Cancer to Leo. So the last time it was 2014 to 2015. It's every 12 years, basically. Before that, it was mid-year 02 to mid-year 03. Before that, it was mid-year 1990 to 91. And then 1979, it was most of the year. And then, so on and so forth. 67, 68, 55, 56. If you were born during one of these years, then you're having a Jupiter return. And that's also considered a really lucky time for you, okay? So this is going to be an all signs video. We're going to do sun, rising, moon, or whatever you resonate with. If you always check your rising, and you always check your Venus, or you always check your nodes, or if you're a cross watcher, there's no hard, fast rules to any of this, So whatever you resonate with, then that's the reading for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get sign by sign. Aries. So this is in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity. I mean, this is a great time for all of those things. When Jupiter transits your 5th, you can get pregnant, especially if you're rising, if you're Aries rising. Now, I got pregnant with Jupiter in my 5th with twins. So it was not even that it was in my 5th, but it was also so abundant and so, it brought 2 babies at once. So I had twin daughters back when Jupiter was, one of the years that Jupiter was in my 5th. So again, think back to those other years, but if you're in the entertainment field, if you're into sports, if you play sports, romance, you could have if you're single, you could have a lot of people, interested in you, a lot of dating stuff going on. But let's go ahead and do 2 cards for Aries, Sun, Rising, Moon, whoever's watching, for the Jupiter in the 5th house for Aries. You got Ace of Pentacles, new beginning and money, followed by, if I can get the card out, these are new, they're slidey. They're slippery when wet. The other thing is you have the Hierophant. So an opportunity for a new beginning and money that's leading you into some kind of a bigger group situation. Maybe it's a new beginning, a new job with a big corporation or something like that. If you are doing creative things, this could maybe be getting picked up by a publisher or getting picked up by a record label, if people even bother with that anymore, or whatever, whatever you're submitting your creative works to somebody. It could even be like the internet or the public at large. You could have, if you're doing some creative thing, a lot of people could really notice it, and maybe you're able to monetize it. If you are looking for a job, though, this could be something that's really creative, that brings you a lot of joy and happiness to your spirit, my guides are saying. So yeah, really it's going to be really favorable for everyone, pretty much. Aries, if you want to get on that solstice reading, limited time offer, it's running out. Check it out through my website. And next we're going to look at the sign of Taurus. Well, Taurus, this is down in your 4th house. This, if you're planning on moving, this would be a year where you could really find that dream home, maybe build a home. There could be a lot of connection to your own home and family, or even your family of origin, your tree, your family tree, your roots, these types of things. Building new foundations, because especially if you're rising, because the chart goes, there's 12 houses, yes, but there's also the ascendant, descendant, MC, and IC. And the IC, or the 4th house here, when planets cross those points, it's kind of like a new cycle opens up too for you. So it's a new foundations are being made at this time, especially again for Taurus risings. But let's go ahead and get 2 cards for Taurus for the Jupiter and Leo transit for the next year. Look at, you got the Strength card that has that lion on it. And then the Queen of Cups, that's a water sign energy. Alright, well, Strength card is usually saying have strength and have patience, but it can also mean that you're building something that's going to be really strong. You know, that there's strength, and it's this Leo energy. It's kind of backing up what's, the planetary things. The Queen of Cups does feel like this is favorable to you. So the Queen of Cups could be this water sign person, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or Pisces. The Queen of Cups is creative, emotional, could be emotional attachments. Sometimes I would think of her as like the mother, or the 4th house ruler in the flat wheel is Cancer, and that's like the mother of the zodiac. Could have to do with mother, motherhood, your own mother, grandmothers, your family line going back, these types of things. It feels a lot like, you've been waiting for something, and then the Queen of Cups could be the facilitator, or the person that kind of helps bring this in for you. So again, favorable for sure. If you want to get in on the solstice reading, Taurus, head over to my website, or any of the readings I offer. Only through my website. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Gemini. Well, so many exciting things are happening for you, Gemini. And this Jupiter's going in the 3rd house. So the 3rd house is the house, that's your natural house. It rules everything that you are. Communication, short distance travel, reading, writing, neighbors, siblings, these types of things. So these types of things are going to be really amplified. I mean, I feel like because you have the Uranus going through your sign, and then the Jupiter in the 3rd, it's like, the ideas are just coming fast and furious. Like they're coming so fast that you can't even, you can't even keep up with them. They're just, it's too much almost. So try to stay centered. And, try to stay organized is really another thing, too. If jot them down, even if you have to talk them into a phone on a notepad or something. So, and then later on, when things calm down perhaps a little, you can come back and sort of sort through it. Check, I'm getting check your spam folders. There could be some messages that are coming through that you might slip by. All right, next I'm going to do a couple cards here. We've got the Judgment card, end of a karmic cycle, and the Tower. Well, these 2 cards, first of all, they're both major arcana, but also they're telling us that you've been through some kind of a huge upheaval, perhaps, or some kind of big trauma. I want to say upheaval more than trauma. And then the Judgment card says, well, lesson learned. That whatever this was, this karmic lesson that you had to go through, now you're free to move on to the next phase of your life. Now you're free. I feel like somebody had to file bankruptcy, perhaps. Somebody else, you may have lost a job or something like that, or even lost a person. But the hard times are coming to an end. You've gone through this transformational portal, almost, I want to say, with the Tower energy, and now you're moving on to greener pastures and more beauty and joy and good stuff in your life. All right, Gemini, if you want to get in on the solstice reading or anything else I offer, head over to my website. That's the only way to get to it. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Cancer. Well, Cancer, the Jupiter is finishing up the year-long cycle in your sign. So you're coming off of a year of having Jupiter in your sign. It attracts a lot of attention to you, and sometimes Cancers, you may shy away from you might not like all that attention bestowed upon you. So, it may be like, you might kind of like that it's that the spotlight isn't so much on you, or so much isn't coming at you anymore. It's moving into your second house of money, so Jupiter transit through the second house is always a good time when, you know, your earnings and your money should be, this one wants to flip out here, your earnings and your money should be really, you know, expanded and abundant. So it's a good money year. I'll just take the top card for the second one. That one flew out. So we have the Queen of Swords and the Moon. Well, the Queen of Swords is a person, maybe an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra. And then the Moon card is intuition, feminine energy. It's paying attention to your dreams, your inner guidance. Actually, the Moon is your ruling luminary. Every astrology sign has, it's not all planets, because you have the Moon and Leo is the Sun, but the rest of them are ruled by planets. But everyone has a ruler, and yours is the Moon. So this is your ruling luminary, as I said. This could also be like some kind of a full moon or new moon. Well, the new moon in Gemini, we had that recently. We had the new moon in Gemini back on the 14th of June here. So it may have been something that happened around that time, the full moon, the new moon in Gemini around June 14th, that now you're going to start to see the fruits of it. Now you're going to seeing it start to manifest. And again, the Queen of Swords is a part of it. She's favorable. Well, could be anybody. Again, it could be one of the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And then the Moon is just, you know, you being in your own energy. You know, you really going into that intuitive vibe, dreams, imagination, subconscious mind. Hey, Cancers, if you want to get in on the solstice reading, this is your ingress. This is on the 21st. And it's a really powerful reading for the upcoming season or even the upcoming year ahead, especially if you're Cancer sun sign, because it's part of your solar return. So check it out if you're interested, only through my website, vickyverley.com. Next, we'll look at the sign of Leo. Well, Leo, this is going to be your year, baby. Everybody wants you. Everybody wants you. Yeah, everybody's coming for you. Everybody wants you. They're attracted to you. You're in the spotlight. And you're real comfortable there, Leo. Leos are very comfortable in the spotlight. You have no problem at all with that. So it's going to be really, you know, whatever, if you're the star of the show, my guides are saying. Which card's flying out? And, you know, you're the star of the show. So everybody wants you. You could be, you know, going out for a part, if you're an actor, or going after that job, whatever you're going for. You know, you're going to be chosen. You have some beautiful cards here as well. You've got the wish card saying your wish is coming true, and it's followed by the Ace of Swords. This is a major triumph or victory or a big breakthrough. You know, so if you've been wanting to make some big breakout move, some big, bold, new beginning, you know, this is going to be really, you're going to get what you wanted. You know, you're going to get your wish is going to come true. And it does feel like it's a new beginning. Again, remember those cycles. You can freeze the video here, but I talked more about it in the intro. What happened those other times? How did you get that acknowledgement, those accolades, that acknowledgement? And again, you know, Leo, you're just basking in that stuff. You love that stuff. So this is going to be a banner year for you, my guides are saying, and I would agree to that. Yeah, so luck, abundance, all the good stuff, all shining on you. All right, Leo, if you want to get a reading from me, whether it's the solstice or the other ones that I offer, only through my website, vickyverley.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to look at Virgo. Okay, Virgo, well, you know, it's going into your 12th house. So this is a time of contemplation. You could really have a lot of people from the past showing up, or just past memories of people showing up, things like that. Dreams, subconscious mind, spirit guides and angels are they're coming through. They want to talk to you. Pay attention, listen. Listen to what they're showing you. They're guiding you. They're showing you things. Listen and pay attention. Okay, let me go ahead and get 2 cards for our Virgo peeps. Sun, rising, moon, or whatever you check. Queen of Pentacles, that's a representation of you. And the Tower again. The Tower came out for somebody else. Well, you know, there may be some past trauma that's coming up here. That's what it feels like. Because she doesn't want to look at it, you know. It's almost like she's even shielding herself from it. If you look at the way her you know, if you can see, it's almost like it feels like there's just this, it's so harsh that she has to turn away. But, you know, be gentle with yourself, with the rabbit. You know, rabbit's also good luck. Be gentle with yourself, because there is there is something to be gained and something to be gleaned from it, because next year it'll be moving into your sign, so you want to make full advantage of that. The other thing that's going on astrology-wise for Virgos is in August, it's not August. I keep thinking there's going to be another Virgo eclipse in August, but there's not. Your opposite sign on the 28th. It feels like these eclipses, though, in August, whether it's the August 12th or the August 28th, it does feel like this could really be something for you. It's kind of like you're going to be okay. This is only coming out because it needs to be cleansed and it needs to be removed. So if it comes up, don't say, oh no, I don't want to look at that. Push it away. Just say, okay, what is it? Show me, tell me. And then you can really be free of it. And then you can move forward. Be gentle with yourself. Or if you made a big mistake in your life, or you did something that hurt somebody else, don't beat yourself up. You're good at that, Virgos. You will beat yourself up. So don't beat yourself up. Be gentle. The rabbit is coming out to me, which is leaps and bounds and a lot of things, but I'm really picking up what the rabbit energy is about, the being gentle. You know, be gentle with yourself. You did the best that you could at the time with whatever you were dealing with at the time, okay? So just be gentle. Look it square in the eye and say, okay, that happened, but now I'm getting ready to start my new chapter. Hey Virgos, if you want to get in on the solstice reading or anything else I offer, head over to my website. The solstice reading is expiring in about a week or so, the end of this month. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Libra. Well, Libra, this is over in your 11th house. People want you. People want to know you. Groups, you're going to find groups of people that you really resonate with. If you're having a high school reunion or any kind of reunion like that, you'd want to attend, because I feel like you would have a great time. If you're trying to get into like a union or even like a country club or some kind of group like that, or for somebody I feel like you're trying to get in at some kind of an art show or as a vendor somewhere, like at an art fair or some kind of thing like that, you would be able to get in. My guides are saying they're handing you the golden key. So take that as it resonates. Let's go ahead and get 2 cards for Libra for the upcoming Jupiter transit. We have the Hermit and we have the Six of Pentacles. So something that you've been waiting for as far as money goes, it's going to be showing up for you, it looks like. You're going to get paid. You know, you're getting paid. You're getting your reward. Hermit is, you know, it is waiting. It is contemplating and these types of things. But Hermit can also be seeking wise counsel, like an attorney or somebody like that. So if there's some kind of thing where you're waiting, somebody could be getting like a, you know, workman's comp disability or something like that because this group might be the government even. This is also money from the career too, but also the other thing it could be for some is the Hermit is looking over, you know, looking over your application or whatever. When I said looking over, I heard that old tune. I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I've overlooked before. But, you know, Jupiter is considered lucky. So maybe there is some kind of, you're looking over a 4-leaf clover or a lucky opportunity or something like that. But it does look like, you know, you're going to get paid and you're happy about that. Hey Libra, if you want to dive in deeper, go over to my website and check it out. I have many readings, but the special I'm running that's going to expire soon is the solstice reading. So if you did want to get on that limited time, check it out. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, this is up in your 10th house. I'm Scorpio rising. I was looking back, and yeah, 2013 or 2014, that's when I was, my YouTube channel just really took off, you know. And it wasn't like it is now. I know people always bitch when I say this or argue with me, but I was the first reader on YouTube. I kind of invented the whole tarot on YouTube of all signs for astrology signs format. And, you know, I was just doing it because it was fun, and, you know, I didn't have any expectations, and that's when my channel just really, really took off, you know, and I was doing really great with it for a long time. So it could be some kind of, you know, career thing that's happening for you. You know, the 10th house, besides just being the career, it's whatever you're shooting for in life. What are you shooting for? Jupiter's going to be up there to give you that boost, to give you that helping hand. And here's the thing with you, too, because Jupiter is the ruler of your 2nd house, so it could be bringing in the money and career. They're tied together, you know. All right, let's go ahead and do Scorpio's 2 cards for the Jupiter and Leo transit. the first card we have is the Knight of Cups. That's a representation of you, followed by the Hangman. Well, the Knight of Cups is a representation of you, and then you have the Hangman. This is like stopping, pausing, getting those downloads, those psychic impressions and downloads and things like that. Knight of Cups absolutely, again, could be you, but Knight of Cups could be another person who is a water sign, who is a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It feels like whatever this is, it's sort of soft, you know, it's sort of like, okay, I submitted my work, or I submitted my application, I submitted my thing, I reached out, I sent the email, I sent the inquiry, and now I'm just waiting. But that's not a bad thing. I feel like in this case, it's telling you not to push. Okay, if you sent the thing, then just chill out and wait and see what happens. Because as soon as Jupiter gets up there, wow, you know, people are going to be, you could really be elevated. So you don't want to push after the wrong thing too. Sometimes we push and we're after the wrong thing. And in this case, you know, allow the right thing to shine through at the top of your chart, because the right thing is going to happen. It may not happen right out of the gate the minute Jupiter goes in there, because you got a whole year of that energy, but it is going to come. And also, you know, think before you act is really what I'm getting. Pause, think, read over, spell check, and read over, proof any emails that you're going to send before you, because it is Mercury retrograde too, as after that day, the day before. So, you know, read over those emails before you press send, these types of things. It may take a minute, but something beautiful is manifesting for you, and it could really be a big boost for your career, but also like you being in the spotlight in some way. Hey Scorps, if you want to get in on the solstice reading or anything else that I offer, head over to my website and we'll dive in and look specifically at your stuff. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Sagittarius. Well, Jupiter is your ruling planet, Sagittarius. So as it moves to the houses, this is going to be really, you know, good stuff for you. This is, you know, you feel it. It would impact you perhaps more than a lot of the other signs. So it's up there in your 9th house. This is a great time to go to school. This is a great time to, you know, go to school or be a teacher yourself. This is a great time to travel to foreign countries, learn about foreign cultures, go do some spiritual growth, some spiritual retreats, of those things like that. You could be getting the big spiritual downloads. Let me get 2 cards here for Saggy. Sagittarius, you're such a crazy pants. Okay, you have the 4 of Wands and Strength. Yeah, the Strength is saying hang in there, have patience. As I pointed out in one of the other readings, it does have the Lion on there, and we're talking about the Leo energy. 4 rods is, you know, usually a change in your environment. You might be moving. And if you were moving with a Jupiter in the 9th transit, it might be like a major relocation. It wouldn't be just, you know, to the next block or a couple miles away. I mean, you might be making an actual... These cards have scratches on them already. Just got them. You may be moving to an actual, you know, a different country even, or something like different state or a different country. Something is manifesting about moving, and it's going to be a very happy and glorious move, my guides are saying. But, you know, you got to have strength. You got to hang in there, because it's going to take a while. You know, this is a whole year transit, so it's going to take a little while. But it might even be till Leo time, so that's not all that long. You know, that'd be another month from now, roughly. You know, late July, August, the 8th month of August. But, you know, something is manifesting in an opportunity to change your home environment for the better, make you more happy. All right, Sag, if you want to get in on my solstice reading, which is about to expire, the upcoming season, or any of the readings I offer, only through my website. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. Website is depicted right here, and you can find it in the description. All right, Capricorn, you're up next. It's moving into your 8th house. This is money from other people, money from a partnership, unexpected money. It's death, taxes, all these fun stuff. But Capricorn, you always got your mind on your money and your money on your mind. You know, that's kind of your jam. But let's go ahead and get a couple cards for Capricorn for further insight as to what's it all about, Elfie. King of Pentacles, that's a representation of you, followed by the 9 of Wands, feeling a little bit on guard, feeling a little bit trepidatious towards this person. So this could be you. It could totally be you. Maybe you're coming off too strong. If that's the case, you want to back off. Maybe other people are off put by you. But it could be another earth sign, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or Virgo. And, you may be a little off put about this person. I feel like whatever this person is, they're on the up and up. They're making you, I'm hearing Jameson too. I don't know if it's Jameson. When I think of Jameson, I think of the whiskey. But it could be somebody's name or even a town or something for some. Actually, when I looked at these buildings in the back, I saw Jameson came into my mind. So it could be, a location. But King of Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I feel like it's a solid offer, but of course this is a collective general reading, so if you want to dive into details, it would have to be a personal reading. But I feel like what this person is offering is true. And Taurus comes through really strong. Or what's coming through actually is bull. And I feel like it's not bull, but what I wanted to say was that bullish on America. What was that? Merrill Lynch is bullish on America. It's an old commercial. So I'm not even sure. I think they were stock brokerage firms or something like that. So take that as it resonates. But I think, if all, of course, check things over for real, but it feels like there's some kind of a deal that's wanting to manifest. And I don't think that you have to be too overly cautious. Of course, the situation would vary by thing, but don't just write it off. In other words, at least investigate, at least give them the time of day. Listen to what they have to say, because it looks like, I feel like it could be really fruitful for you. All right, Caps, if you want to get in on my readings for the solstice, which is about to expire, if you haven't got yours yet, or anything else, head over to my website, VickyBurley.com. Don't be fooled, imposters. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Aquarius. As soon as I get just a quick sip of water, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, sun, rising, moon. Anybody who resonates with Aquarius energy. This is in your 7th house. Opposites. I'm hearing we come together because opposites attract. That's an old 80s kind of dance tune, I think. But it's, other people. It's your opposite sign. It's other people. So being involved with other people, partnerships. Here, one card wants to come out, 5 of Wands. Partnerships, if you're already attached, it could be a lot of stuff that's happening in your partner, with your partner. It might be their stuff that's really coming through. Okay, so we have the conflict situation, and then we have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, they were just out in the last reading. This is some kind of a money opportunity. There could be a lot of competition for this money opportunity. A lot of people might be vying for it, but it looks like you could be the one that gets that offer. You would be the one that they contact, that you would be the one that they want. You would be the one, I have to spritz myself because I'm getting a hot flash, sorry. You would be the one that gets it, or maybe you've been just really working hard on a project and you turn it in, and then this could even be maybe an investor or a business partner or something like that. But it does feel like after your struggle, the payoff is coming after the struggle. That would be like the key word for this. And it looks like some nice money coming your way. All right, finally we're going to look at the sign of Pisces. This is over here in your 6th house, work, health, pets. You could be working really hard at this time. Your health could be really good. Or, again, if there's been something that's been bothering you, because the Jupiter will amplify it, it could even be, well, I better have to take a look at it. It's time I got to go check it out. I can't put it off anymore. But maybe that's a good thing, too. It's just like, oh, you should have came to me months ago. All we have to do is this, and this. It's an easy fix. You would have overall good results or happy outcomes, with this Jupiter energy. Okay, let's go ahead and get 2 cards for Pisces. Our Sun, Rising, Moon, Pisces peeps for this mini Jupiter reading, Jupiter and Leo. Ooh, 9 of Swords, followed by the Strength card again. That's been out a lot. I mean, it does have a lion on it, and whatever you've been worrying about, it's all going to come out in the wash. That's what my guys are saying. Everything's going to get ironed out. Everything's going to come out smoothly. You're coming from a position of strength. If you're worried about your job, or you're worried about your health or your pet, you know, that could be also, you know, that's going to iron out here. Because the lion, it almost looks like a big dog to me, almost like a Chow Chow dog there for a minute. I used to have a Chow Chow. This is my brother's dog, and I ended up with him, Teddy, because he looked like a bear. We call him Teddy Bear. But, you know, it reminded me, or maybe I'm just supposed to say Teddy. Maybe that's a name for somebody, Ted or Teddy. But, you know, it looks like the pet is doing well. You know, it feels like, oh, we get through it, we're doing well. Or whatever you've been worrying about. Or some of you, if you've been up at night, like listening to bumps in the night, maybe get a dog. If you can, you know, have a dog that you'll feel safer with a big, good watchdog, like I do. You know, I have a really good watchdog. So it could be something like that. If you're waking up at every sound in the night, then maybe, you know, get a good watchdog, and then you feel protected or something like that. There is a strong sense of protection around this. So it could even be some kind of spirit guide. This is sort of angelic here, or an animal totem or something like that. But don't, you know, put your worries aside. You are protected. And, you know, with Jupiter there, a lot of things are going to be ironed out and work out. Sixth house is a house of, like, you know, can be like drudgery and work and health, you know, stuff that we have to just plow on through. If that stuff's been getting in your head and you've been worrying about it, just chill out and you know, regain your strength too. Don't burn yourself out. Make sure you are getting your rest and regaining your strength. All right, Pisces, if you guys want to check it out, my channel, check out my channel too. I have other readings there for sure. But my website, you can find out about the readings that I offer. Hope everyone has a great Jupiter and Leo for the upcoming year. And I'll be back again soon with another reading. Till then, bye.